Hi, I'm Andy, aka Googleman, and this is the third and final part of looking at Google Keep.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane!
Madness. This is Googleman!
Hi guys, and welcome back to aka Googleman. If you haven't done so already, please click on the subscribe button down below, and so you'll get told when new videos go live. The last couple of episodes we've been looking at Google Keep, and last time we looked about how to organize those notes, having created them in part 1. What we're going to be looking at today is how to collaborate and share with those notes, because a school or an office or anywhere else is not run by one person, and sometimes you will have to collaborate with other people in order to get the job done. And if there are many jobs that need to happen within a particular project, Google Keep is a really nice way, a simple way of collaborating on that. So if that sounds like something that is interesting to you, let's jump in. Okay, so as I said, collaboration is absolutely key pretty much wherever you are, okay? Now, what I'm going to use is an example of if I were using several people to create these videos, okay? So, say I would record them, I would then upload those files to, say, a Drive folder, I would then want somebody else to kind of collate and put everything together and edit all of those clips into a video, and perhaps somebody else to do sound or something like that. So let's keep it simple between, say, me and one other person. In this instance, I'm going to use an old list here from my video creation folder, and all I'm going to want to do is share that with somebody else. And this is really good. If you just want to share perhaps something that you're doing and the steps that you're taking for someone else to see what's going on, you can just do this. But obviously this is for a kind of collaboration between several people. I'm going to go into that note, and what you can even do here is actually include a folder. So if I've recorded things and put them into a Google Drive folder, okay, what I've just done up here is I've just got the shareable link to a folder. Then I'll show you that that works in a moment. I included that in the title of the note that I'm going to send out. Really nice, quick way for them to find their files. What I'm now going to do is come down to the bottom to the, well, it looks like the normal share icon, but they've called it collaborator, okay, because this is what it's about. It's collaborating on this piece of work. In there, person or email to share with. Now, in this instance, I'm actually just going to share it with the real world version of me. What will happen is there'll be an email notification to, well, me in this case, or whoever that is, to say that their part in the list is ready to go. So they will be aware then that they need to do something. And of course, what they would then do is, if they've watched my email processing video, that they will then process that email, put it onto their to-do list, or they will add their own Google Keep reminder perhaps in their calendar. And if you haven't seen any of those, I'll link all these videos around as well for you to be able to see. From there, I just click on save. And it's as simple as that, okay? That has now gone to my collaborate. And if I come over to this side of me, and as you can see in my inbox here, I've just had a notification to say that I have shared a note with myself. In this case, it will be somebody else. And if I go into that email, obviously this is the time where I would use my email processing flowchart that I shared with you previously. In this case, I need to make sure that I open in Keep. I want to check everything's there. So I'm going to go and do that now. It'll take me to my Google Keep, and it will open that note for me. And there I can see I've got the note there. I've got all parts of it, so I can see what's been checked off already. What I can also do is access this Drive link as well. So if I just hover over there and click, once I get a little thing that says open link, and it will take me to that folder where that is saved. Okay, and then obviously I would go back and I would add a reminder for myself, or I would add it to my task list, or whatever it needs to be, and then I would probably archive that email. Nice and simple. Okay, another great way that we can use Google Keep to help collaborate is through Google Docs. Now, of course, normally we know we can share and collaborate documents and things like that with Google Drive, but what if your document requires people to do multiple pieces of work in it, and that work requires them to see a checklist? Okay, now in this case, it's one where you will not have created the checklist just yet, at least not in Keep, but you know what's going to go on this, you'll add it in afterwards. So a little bit like when you had emails, you could do a Keep note from email. We do the same sort of thing here in Google Docs. I've just got one of my documents open here. I'll come over to the right hand side and click on the Keep tab on that end there. And what I'll do quite simply is just click Take a Note. From there, what I would do is just like normal, I can put my checklist into this part of the screen as well, or this note is now saved to my my Keep homepage, so I can go in, organize, update, and as you can see here, it's created a link to that Google document. Now, there's a key thing that you do need to do here in order for this to work. Under your sharing preferences for that document, and I've seen this a couple of times, I've done it myself and missed this step out on occasion. You need to go to share and you need to make sure that you use the get link function. At the moment, it should default at restricted. So only people that I've chosen to share the document directly with will have access to it. Obviously, by putting it into that Keep note, even if I add a collaborator there, that's only a collaboration on that note, not on the document. So you need to change that. In this case, obviously EWS, we are part of the Tove Learning Trust. So I will click, and what that will do is allow anyone in the trust that has that link to access this document. It also means it's secure and doesn't go outside of that trust. I don't need to do anything else. If I was emailing that link, I would obviously make a copy of that, but I've already got a link in my Keep note that I've created. Okay, and it means that whoever wants to use that document can now access that. I can also change here if that person is an editor or a viewer. It defaults at viewer. In this instance, and I think in a lot of other instances as well, where you would perhaps use this particular workflow, you would want to change that to editor. So perhaps if you are collaborating on like some kind of improvement plan, so if you're a faculty head and you want some help from your department head, or a second in your faculty, they can go into there as well, and you can tell them specific things that you want them to do. Okay, and the last thing then is actually that creating a note from a Google Doc, you can actually flip that around as well. You can actually create a Google Doc from your Keep note. Now, this is really, really handy if you want to share a checklist with a person or group of people, but you don't want to have to worry about them editing things and clicking things off that you don't want them to. I tend to use this quite a lot with the classes that I teach. So, like I said, I teach GCSE music, and when it comes to doing certain things, there are steps that they go through. And when they're learning, it's really handy for them to have a checklist to use. Okay, so what I will do is I will create a checklist in Google Keep that I will go through, and I will actually use it on screen with them, but that they might not have access to Keep, or I don't want them to be able to mess around with that original list. So what I will do is I will have my checklist open like I have here. Obviously, that they wouldn't have how to make a Google Keep video checklist. Okay. In my More menu down here, I will click on Copy to Google Docs. It will whir around for a minute. It will create that document and allow me straight away to open that doc. On that screen that you can see here, all that is basically happening is you've just got the checklist. It's even got the things that were checked off on the list. Okay. Normally, of course, they wouldn't be, and then you can print and give that out to students in the classroom, or you can share a version of this in Google Docs, so they're not using the Keep note, they're using the document, and it's just a nice, simple way of sharing how to do something with a person or a group of people that perhaps might not have access to Keep or perhaps even Docs. Okay, and that brings us to the end of our series on Google Keep, and I really hope you've managed to find something in one of or more of these 3 videos that you've been able to take away and put into your own practice. However, I know that there are people out there that will already have great practice using things like Google Keep. Please tell us about those things, drop a comment down below or send me an email. I'm going to do an episode at some point down the line where we talk about the practice of other people that have written into me or things that I have seen. So if you want something to be shared in there, please let me know. I will next see you on Monday, where we'll be back with a brand new video. Until then, stay well, stay safe. Googleman out.